Imagine an artificial intelligence with, well, a flawless resume. It claims grandmaster level skills in coding, even complex reasoning for financial markets.
Sounds like a golden ticket, right? The kind of thing that could just change everything overnight.
Exactly. But what if that AI, despite all that brilliance, was fundamentally blind to the very patterns that actually make a trading strategy profitable?
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a really close look at the much-hyped GPT-5, specifically its real-world performance when it was put to the test building TradingView strategies.
Yeah, when GPT-5 first came out, the market was just buzzing. Everyone asking, is this it? Is this the AI that lets us mint money?
We've got the, let's say, brutal, honest answers today. We'll unpack that initial hype, reveal the results from 3 pretty rigorous hands-on tests, and ultimately we'll show you why the future of trading probably isn't AI replacing humans, but more like a powerful human-machine partnership. Right. Our mission today is really to cut through all that noise. We're going to show you where GPT-5 shines as this high-performance engine, which it is. It's remarkable. But maybe more importantly, where it still critically falls short, where it needs your human intelligence, your intuition to actually succeed.
Right.
We're getting to the unfiltered truth here.
Okay, let's unpack that initial phase then. When GPT-5 dropped, the buzz, like you said, was huge. It really was presented like the perfect job candidate for, say, a quant trading firm, boasting grandmaster reasoning, coding skills, especially, it seemed, for PineScript on TradingView. People were excited.
Oh, absolutely. It was an incredibly impressive interview, you could say.
Yeah.
The AI seemed to grasp the specific world of PineScript and TradingView almost instantly. It felt like it remembered past chats, adapting in a way that suggested it was way more than just some generic chatbot. So that created this really powerful first impression, made a lot of people think, wow, this could revolutionize strategy development. But underneath all that, the big question was still there. Could it actually create profitable strategies from scratch, or just follow orders well?
So just based on that first impression, before the real test began, what was the biggest takeaway?
It felt like a true specialist, but, talk is cheap.
Right. So past the interview phase, time for the skills tests. The first challenge was something pretty common for algo traders. Turn an indicator into a strategy. They picked a complex-sounding one, the Luxalgo AI Super Trend Clustering Oscillator for Bitcoin. Visually, it was clear, blue dots for buy, red dots for sell, right on the chart.
Yeah, easy for a human to see the pattern. So in round 1, they just gave GPT-5 total control, fed it the PineScript code, gave it a really open-ended prompt, transformed this indicator into a strategy as you see fit. And the result, an absolute unmitigated disaster, seriously.
Oh, that.
We lost 32% since 2018 on Bitcoin. Just, wow, a money-shredding machine, literally.
Ouch.
It just hammered home that, processing power isn't market wisdom, not at all.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Round 2, they tried this human-AI partnership. Instead of being vague, they gave it clear instructions based on that visual pattern a human could see, explicitly. Buy when a blue dot appears, sell when a red dot appears. Simple.
And that was a total transformation.
Yeah.
Just night and day, that human-guided strategy. It produced a plus 200% profit.
Okay.
And the drawdown was reasonable, too, around 37%.
Wow.
The critical lesson here is really profound. It shows a fundamental limit. GPT-5 cannot see the market like a human. It's blind to visual patterns on a chart. It processes text, not shapes or where dots are relative to price. It doesn't get candlestick patterns. But once you, the human strategist, see that pattern and tell it exactly what to do,
Then it works.
then it becomes an incredibly fast, efficient code monkey.
Yeah.
It translates your idea into PineScript almost instantly. Amazing speed.
So boil it down for us. What's the core difference when a human steps in to guide it?
Your human intuition provides the strategic direction it lacks.
Okay. Next up, they tested its enhanced reasoning on something trickier, fixing an underperforming strategy. They used a Gaussian channel trend-following strategy. Like a lot of trend followers, it tended to lose money in choppy, sideways markets. Classic problem.
Right, how do you keep the good trend trades but ditch the sideways chop losses? The prompt was clear. Enhance this strategy. Avoid sideways channels. More percent profit with lower percent max drawdown. Specific goals. What followed was, honestly, a multi-hour coding nightmare. The AI kept trying to use a function called addx in PineScript that doesn't actually exist in standard PineScript that way.
Wait, it hallucinated a function.
Yeah. ADX, the average directional index, is a real indicator, super common for trend strength. But GPT-5 kept getting the implementation wrong, trying a non-existent built-in function. It took multiple rounds of debugging, feeding it error messages, even screenshots. I mean, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes, so I get the frustration.
So after all that back and forth, that debugging headache, what was the final result? Was it worth it?
Well, it was a mixed bag, but ultimately a failure on the main goal.
How so?
It did manage to lower the max drawdown a bit, and the win rate went up slightly. But the total profit was actually lower than the original strategy.
Lower profit, so it didn't really fix it.
No. It hadn't really solved the core issue of sideways markets. What it did instead was just remove some of the best, most profitable trades from the good trending periods. It did that just to bring the drawdown number down. It couldn't tell the difference between a good loss, an acceptable part of the strategy, and a bad loss from the chop.
So it lacked nuance.
Completely. It just didn't have that market intuition, honestly, for this task.
Yeah.
Not much better than GPT-4.
Why do you think it struggled so much with actually improving the strategy, not just, cutting trades?
It couldn't grasp the market context of good versus bad trades.
Okay, that leads us to the biggest test, the ultimate challenge. Could GPT-5 create a profitable strategy totally from scratch? The hope was maybe its massive training data held some hidden alpha, some pattern it could synthesize on its own.
Well, it was in another coding marathon, let me tell you. The usual suspects popped up, those ADX errors again, incomplete codes, stuff needing human fixes. But after all that debugging, something genuinely interesting did emerge. Quite surprising, actually.
Oh,
The final strategy it built wasn't the absolute highest profit winner in terms of sheer percentage gain, but it was one of the best strategies they tested in terms of stability. Risk management was top-notch.
stability. How so?
It had an incredibly low maximum drawdown, just 15.46%, plus a really solid 61% win rate and a profit factor of 7.1. That's strong.
7.1 profit factor.
Yeah.
That's impressive. But low drawdown is the key here. Explain why that's such a big deal.
Yeah, this is super important, especially if you're trading serious capital. A strategy with really low drawdown isn't just nice, it's a foundational advantage. It means you can safely amplify it, you can increase your position size, maybe use a bit of leverage, much more comfortably. Like even with just 2x amplification, which is pretty modest, that GPT-5 strategy could suddenly produce competitive profits, maybe even better than some higher raw profit strategies, and its drawdown would still be well within reasonable risk limits. Think about applying that to significant capital.
Whoa. Yeah, imagine scaling that kind of stability. It changes the whole psychological experience of trading, doesn't it?
Absolutely. A high win rate plus low drawdown. That's much easier to stick with psychologically in the real world. No huge swings, fewer long losing streaks. It built a really solid foundation.
So, bottom line it for us. What makes that low drawdown result so valuable to a trader?
It offers psychological ease and safer amplification of capital. Mid-roll sponsor read.
Okay, so after running GPT-5 through these 3 different, pretty demanding tests, what's the brutal, unvarnished truth? What are its real capabilities for trading?
Well, I think the best analogy is this. Think of GPT-5 as a world-class, high-performance race car engine. Incredibly powerful, an amazing feat of engineering capable of immense output. But here's the catch. It's delivered to you with no steering wheel, no brakes, and no GPS.
Powerful but uncontrollable.
Exactly. It's an engine of immense power, but without a skilled human driver providing the crucial controls, giving it direction, navigating the market's twists and turns, it's going to crash, guaranteed. It's a tool with huge potential, but it's definitely not a complete solution on its own.
That's a really clear analogy. So let's drill down then. Where does this powerful engine actually shine? What are its core strengths we should be using?
Okay, despite those limits, it has 3 really clear strengths. First, code implementation. It is genuinely world-class at translating human logic into code. You define the rules, tell it what you want, and boom, it writes clean, efficient Python script. The speed is just incredible.
Okay, translation expert, what else?
Second, low-risk architecture. This was interesting. It seems to default towards building strategies that have inherently reasonable drawdowns and pretty solid risk management baked in, almost like a safety engineer designed it.
So it leans towards being cautious.
Seems like it, yeah. And third, it's a tireless debugging partner. Feed it clear error messages, show it screenshots of problems, and it's surprisingly good at finding and fixing coding errors its own, or even yours, like a super patient assistant.
All right, so great coder, lean safe, good debugger. Now the flip side, where are those missing controls, the parts that lead to the crashes?
Right, it fails because it lacks some critical things.
Yeah.
Number 1, true market intelligence. Like we saw, it's blind. It cannot look at a chart and identify a profitable visual pattern by itself. It doesn't see charts, it sees text tokens.
No eyes for the market.
Exactly, no intuition. Second, strategic optimization. It has zero market feel. It cannot understand why a trade is good or bad in the bigger picture. It'll chop out good trades just to lower drawdown, remember. It doesn't
Okay.
get the why.
Right.
And finally, coding consistency. Despite being brilliant, it makes these simple, repeated mistakes like hallucinating functions. It needs that human iteration, that correction loop.
Okay, so this brings up the big question for anyone wanting to use this. If it has these, frankly, pretty big flaws, how do we actually make it profitable? How do we use it effectively?
The conclusion is actually really clear, and maybe even a bit liberating. GPT-5 is not a replacement for human traders. It's not after your job. Instead, think of it as a powerful implementation tool that absolutely requires human market intelligence to guide it. The winning formula, the future here, is what we're calling the trading Centaur, a seamless human-machine partnership.
Trading Centaur, I like that. Human brain, AI body.
Pretty much. Your job, as the human brain, is pattern recognition. You study the charts, you use your experience to spot potential patterns, you form hypotheses. GPT-5's job, the powerful body, is implementation. You give it clear, detailed instructions based on your insights, and it handles the coding grunt work.
Okay.
Then it's a cycle, human-driven iteration. You test what it builds, find the flaws, refine your ideas, and guide the AI to make specific tweaks. And critically, you amplify AI strengths. Lean on it for the debugging, the automation, quickly creating variations of your ideas. Let it do what it does best.
So basically an operator's manual for the listener. Clear do's and don'ts.
Exactly. Simple breakdown. DO use GPT-5 for converting indicators you already understand well, implementing very specific trading rules you've defined, debugging Pine script code, and creating lots of variations fast. Don't use GPT-5 for discovering profitable patterns from scratch. It can't see them. Optimizing strategies without your explicit guidance, it'll optimize poorly. And don't expect it to understand why a strategy works or fails, or notice subtle market shifts. That's still your job.
So this Centaur approach, this human AI team, how does that really change the game for traders going forward?
It combines human insight with AI's raw coding power.
Okay, wrapping this up then. What does this all mean for you listening? The big idea here seems to be that GPT-5 is not the holy grail. It's not push-button riches.
Not at all. What's really fascinating is seeing it clearly as a sophisticated coding assistant. It's an amplifier for human intelligence, not a replacement. The winning combo is simple. You bring the market insight, the pattern recognition, the strategic thinking. GPT-5 brings the code implementation, the debugging speed, the rapid iteration power.
And together, that human-machine team can create and test potentially profitable strategies way faster than ever before. It's about combining your hard-won experience with the AI speed. So for you, the listener, this points to a clear path. If you're a beginner trader, your absolute first priority is still learning market fundamentals. Technical analysis basics. GPT-5 won't help you if you don't understand why a trade should work in the first place.
Absolutely critical.
For experienced traders, GPT-5 could be a massive game changer for implementation speed. Testing your nuanced ideas may be 10 times faster than coding manually.
Imagine that speed.
And for strategy developers, you can use GPT-5 to churn out variations of your core ideas, test different parameters, different filters, at a pace that was impossible before.
The trader's really winning with AI right now. They're not expecting magic. They're wisely combining their own intelligence, their edge, with the AI's speed. It's about working smarter.
So the real advantage isn't found in trying to fully automate your thinking, but in wisely augmenting your own intelligence, making yourself faster, more efficient. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.